Non, non.
C'est ce que notre population attend de nous et c'est ce qui nous exigeons de nous-mêmes. I know from my days as a city councillor that you are the best resource on what is needed in your ward, in your communities, and in your neighborhoods. You're meeting with people each and every day and hearing their concerns and their aspirations of the people that you represent. As councillors, you hear firsthand when things aren't right, and you have the best understanding of what to do to set things on the proper course. Our last budget is a good example of what has come from listening and learning from council. I met with each of you about your wards and your priorities. Out of that effort emerged some common priorities. The road system was in need of repairs, our network of cycling paths needed to be improved, our sidewalks needed upgraded right across the city. So our budget delivered Ottawa on the move, and it's fair to say that this initiative simply put the result of better listening. Council listened and acted to build a strong package of improvements that residents will value. But listening has to be an everyday job. It doesn't just happen at budget time. I've tried to be there for you when you've had an issue or concern and provide a mayor's office that is there to help. I've also pushed for more collaboration between members of council, my own team, and city staff, and I'm proud to say that we're making good progress. La population veut une équipe de conseillers et une administration municipale à son écoute qui réalise des choses, qui trouvent des solutions. Thanks to that philosophy, we were able to take on an ambitious agenda for our first year. One of our council's first decisions was to pass, with the power of a unanimous vote, a motion that demonstrated to taxpayers our collective commitment to capping tax increases to a maximum of 2.5%. Councillors also undertook, in a unanimous vote, to find the money within each budget envelope to pay for new spending. It's that kind of discipline that families impose upon themselves to live within their means. Across the board, we've worked hard to contain increases in various fees and rates the city charges, including freezing recreation fees for the last 2 years, and reducing increases in transit fares by 60% compared to the previous 3 years. Putting transit on a sustainable footing was ambitious, a challenge others had tried to meet before without success. This council created a transit commission with public membership, and we moved our transit system forward, modernizing our routes and making key changes to make better use of scarce taxpayers' dollars. I want to thank Councillor Deans and members of the Transit Commission for their hard work in 2011. In 2012, we will continue to make progress on improving our transit, a vital service that delivers over 1 million transit trips each week across the largest municipality in Canada. And we're listening to get this done. We've added $5.5 million in additional bus service, taking into account what residents told us and strategically addressing the bottlenecks in the system. We will continue to make progress on transparency and integrity. We are working to implement our promised registry of lobbying in a practical way so it can work well without putting up walls to community access to elected officials and add to the confidence residents have in their municipal government. Our proposals for a council code of conduct and gift registry will also come to council for your consideration later this year. We're also making progress in a number of ambitious infrastructure projects. La population d'Ottawa appuie le train léger, mais elle s'inquiète des coûts et des risques associés à un tunnel profond. Un tunnel sous les stationnements souterrains d'édifices comme le World Exchange Center. Le projet de transport en commun par train léger est bien amorcé. This council moved to a new, shallower alignment, one that reduces risk for taxpayers and improves the result. We also carved out 1.5 years from the schedule. We look forward to choosing a successful proposal this fall from one of 3 accomplished international teams competing for this important city building project. This council also continues to work steadfastly to ensure that we can proceed with the planned redevelopment of Lansdowne Park. These improvements and renewal we will see are quite impressive. I believe we will deliver a magnificent citywide asset revitalized for the benefit of all the citizens. Last year, we saw the first step of renewal with the demolition of the South Side stands ahead of schedule and under budget. On Lansdowne, we've listened more, worked with the community, and set our sights on success. I was pleased that this approach led to a pre-OMB agreement with community associations that expedited the process, saving time and taxpayers' money. I want to take this opportunity to again thank the city manager and his devoted team for his dedication and their dedication and professionalism in moving this important city building project forward. We've also made progress on redeveloping Arts Court and the Ottawa Art Gallery. This project has been talked about for far too long. This council has decided to move from talk to action. Ce projet de plusieurs millions de dollars fournira un nouveau domicile à la Galerie d'Art d'Ottawa et à la Cour des Arts. And 2011 saw Council create a new fund that will allow us to compete for more visitors. Managed in collaboration with our partner agency, Ottawa Tourism, this fund will allow the city to bid more, win more, and host more marquee events that generate economic activity, tourism, and jobs. This strategy is already paying off. This week, our city, for the first time, will host the NHL All-Star Game. Then Ottawa will welcome the Juno Awards in April and the Women's Hockey Championships in 2013. Also this year, thanks to the good work of Paul Benoit and the Airport Authority, Ottawa has announced 2 new direct flight options for our community. Delta Airlines Direct to New York City and US Airways Direct to Reagan International Airport in Washington, D.C. This is also the year we begin the process of renewing and reviewing our official plan. Ottawa is among the world leaders in air quality and water purity. We were chosen the best place to live again this year by Money Sense magazine. The Mercer Group ranked us 14th best city in the entire world for quality of life. All of this says a lot about why our city is a great place to live, work, and raise a family. I want to make sure it stays that way as we grow as a city. Je veux, comme les membres du conseil municipal, m'assurer que ce plan officiel place la barre haute. Je veux m'assurer que nous faisons preuve d'ambition pour cette merveilleuse capitale nationale. I'll be working closely with Councillor Hume on this year's planning summit to kick off our work on our new official plan. We want to hear about the city our residents want to build for the future and for their families. We will set the course that will govern our development from 2014 until 2020 with the rethinking of our official plan. We will decide what kind of improvements we want for our transit system over the long term and how we will safeguard and enhance our mobility as our city grows. We'll make a lot of decisions that will affect the financial strength of our municipality far into the future. Le débat légitime sur la densification se poursuivra dans le cadre de renouvellement de notre plan officiel. Et c'est un débat que j'encourage car il n'y a pas d'alternative acceptable à la densification. Les villes qui ne prennent pas des mesures énergiques pour contenir l'étalement urbain soient aux prises avec des centres-villes qui se détériorent petit à petit et de façon irréversible. The legitimate debate about intensification will continue as part of our official plan renewal. And it's a debate that I welcome because there's no acceptable alternative to sensible intensification. Cities that have not moved aggressively to contain urban sprawl have seen their downtown core suffer a steady, irreversible decline. We all know intuitively that urban sprawl is both expensive and unsustainable. Yet many of us find it difficult to accept that our communities will be different from those of our parents or their parents. In Ottawa, we're already seeing some of the benefits of intensification as our downtown core and many of our communities near the core are much more alive and vibrant than they were as recently as 10 or 15 years ago. I can remember not that long ago when it was difficult to find a place to have dinner that was still open in the downtown core after 6 p.m. Now, more of our communities are bustling with people, activity, and vibrancy. Yet we need to do more to strike the right balance between the need for intensification and and the legitimate needs and concerns of our neighborhoods. I don't think we've struck that right balance yet, and I hope that our planning summit will identify some innovative ideas to move us in that direction. 2012 is also the year I want to challenge everyone in our organization to put more innovation into practice. Private companies has its own discipline for companies that can't innovate and keep up with the pace of change. They simply go out of business. In government, we face the same relentless pace of change, but we don't have the same external force driving continuous improvement. So we need to create the conditions that will foster that change. We have an excellent base in our existing administration and a solid start through our multi-year Service Ottawa rollout. This year, you will notice a big difference in accessing city services and information. A restructured and redesigned website will soon be making Service Ottawa easily available to our residents to conveniently access city services and information online instead of an in-person or over the phone. Residents will also be able to complete 250 different service transactions such as booking and paying for last-minute ice time, reporting graffiti, requesting a recycling bin, and registering for classes and activities through the Service Ottawa Gateway. And the Service Ottawa Department will decentralize the majority of business licensing services from Ben Franklin Place to the 7 client service centers so that residents have more convenient locations and service hours to conduct business with their city. We've invested heavily in our program to deliver better services to residents and to do so for less. And this year, we will really begin to enjoy the benefits of that investment. But it really can't stop there. We're going to improve our efficiency and effectiveness in planning this year. We will change the planning system to make it more inclusive, clear, and easy to navigate. I've asked Peter Hume, as chair of the Planning Committee, to oversee the implementation of the city's new Green Express Lane for the development approvals, and I know he will be sharing good news with council and the public on this front in the coming months. And we need to keep showing innovation on the economic development front. Next month, you'll see the official launch of Invest Ottawa, the city's new agency for boosting investment, trade, and innovation. Invest Ottawa has a job to do, a single mission to aggressively and systematically attract investment in our city. The federal government will table its 2012 budget in the coming months, which will likely see the size of the public service decrease. So now, more than ever, we need to take our economic development destiny into our own hands. The days of relying on the Government of Canada to be the primary engine in this community's growth are behind us. Maintenant, plus que jamais, nous devons nous approprier le destin de notre développement économique. L'époque où l'indépendance du gouvernement du Canada comme moteur principal de la croissance économique de notre collectivité est rêvée. So much more is possible when we work together to get things done. Today, I'm announcing a series of new initiatives and ideas that I believe will be well received by our community. Young people play a crucial role in the success of our community. These will be challenging times as they graduate and enter into the job market. Councillor Matthew Fleury will chair a citywide youth summit in the fall of 2012 on the issues that are important to young people. I invite members of council to engage in this important dialogue. Building on the format and the success of the Senior Summit, we will ask our city's youth for their advice on issues ranging from employment to transportation to art and culture and ways to eliminate bullying in our society. Je suis aussi fier d'annoncer une nouvelle entente de collaboration avec les regroupements des gens d'affaires. Ensemble, nous allons rassembler la communauté d'affaires 2 fois par année dans le cadre de petit déjeuner du maire. J'aimerais remercier Joanne Lefebvre, présidente de RGA, pour son leadership dans le développement de ce partenariat. And I know Joanne is with us today, and I thank her for being here. Our first breakfast event with the RGA will be on Thursday, February 16th, right here at City Hall, and we're very privileged to host the Federal Minister of Transport, Infrastructure and Communities as our first guest speaker, L'Honorable Denis Lebel. With 2012 underway, we must also wrap up our sesquicentennial planning, the 150th birthday of our nation. I've asked Councillors Hobbs and Lois to co-chair a task force on Canada's 150th anniversary taking place in 2017. I'm delighted to say that they're both very enthusiastic to take on the challenge of making sure that Ottawa is ready to roll out the red carpet in 2017. but we must aggressively go after national and international conferences, annual general meetings, sporting and cultural events, conventions, and trade shows. Quebec City, for example, was extremely successful in 2008 as it used the 400th anniversary as a magnet to attract more and bigger events to their city. I want to assure you that our city, the nation's capital, will own 2017. A number of our city's partners are excited about taking part in the 2017 task force. I'm pleased to recognize the following organizations that will help Ottawa welcome the world in collaboration with the Tourism Development Council. And these individuals are also with us in the gallery today. Ottawa Tourism, under the leadership of Noel Buckley, the Ottawa Convention Centre, under the leadership of Pat Kelly, the Ottawa Chamber of Commerce and their Executive Director, Aaron Kelly, the Ottawa Airport Authority, represented by Michael Crockett, the Ottawa Senators, the city's Economic Development Team, represented by Sad Bashir, and several other groups who will participate in this important task, including le Regroupement des gens d'affaires et la Présidente Joanne Lefebvre, and the new CE Centre under the leadership of Kevin McCran. Merci à tous nos partenaires dynamiques d'avoir accepté de faire partie de cette équipe. Our city is first and foremost a gathering place of tremendous people who, from all walks of life and through all sorts of contributions, make this city welcoming, generous, and an all-around exceptional place to live. I'm pleased to announce today that I will work with Deputy Mayors Garache and El Shantiri and all members of Council to bring a proposal forward in the spring to renew and consolidate our city's Civic Appreciations Awards and create a new distinguished award to recognize the great people in Ottawa called the Order of Ottawa. This will be our chance to recognize distinguished residents of Ottawa for their incredible contributions to our community. Further, I'm very pleased to report that Ottawa's most decorated athlete, Olympian and world champion figure skater Barbara Ann Scott, has generously donated her entire collection of medals, awards, and other historic memorabilia to the City of Ottawa. C'est avec beaucoup de fierté que je vous annonce que Barbara Ann Scott, l'athlète le plus décorée d'Ottawa, médaillée olympique et championne du monde en patinage artistique, a généreusement fait don à la ville d'Ottawa de l'ensemble de sa collection de médailles, de prix et autres souvenirs liés à sa carrière. Miss Scott, who is known as Canada's Olympic sweetheart, captured the imagination and the hearts of generations of Ottawans and Canadians through her amazing performance. The winner of the Junior Women's National title in 1940, the National Senior Women's title from 1944 to 1948, the North American Championships 1945 to 1948, 2 European Championships 1947 and 48, 2 World Championships 1947 and 48, an Olympic gold medal at the 5th Winter Olympic Games in St. Moritz, Switzerland on February 6, 1948. When I spoke with her last week, Ms. Scott told me that, quote, all of this material really belongs to Ottawa because Ottawa gave me my start and is my hometown. Working with the City Archives and archivist, Paul Henry, who is here with us, the space soon to be vacated on the first floor of City Hall will be transformed into a showcase of Ms. Scott's remarkable achievements, complete with historic photographs, costumes, silver plates, and her championship gold medal. The Barbara Ann Scott Room will nicely complement our new and successful Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame, located in the Heritage Building. I want to sincerely thank Ms. Scott for her thoughtfulness and generosity. I look forward to hosting her later this year when we dedicate the room in her honor. I'd like to pay special tribute to a great supporter of this initiative, the late journalist Earl McCrae, and thank him for championing this idea. Members of Council, we've come a long way together in a very short period of time. We've made a lot of progress in building confidence in our city government over the course of the last year, and each of you has played an important part in helping to make this a